Viewers, on the one hand, you have our MPs locking horns in Parliament over Operation Sindoor and Pakistan's hand in the Pahalgam terror attack. But on the other, India is preparing to lock horns with Pakistan in the upcoming Asia Cup 2025. India and Pakistan will lock horns in Dubai on the 14th of September as both teams have been slotted in the same group. Naturally, the decision to go ahead with the tournament has not gone down too well with the citizens and politicians back home in India. And this issue was raised in Parliament as well by AIMIM President Asaduddin Owaisi. He is asked that when trade talks and terror cannot go hand in hand, then why only spare cricket?
वज़ीर आज़म ने कहा कि खून और पानी एक साथ नहीं बह सकते, आतंकवाद और बातचीत एक साथ नहीं हो सकती। तो मेरा सवाल आपके जरिए से वज़ीर आज़म और हुकूमत से ये है, क्या आपका ज़मीर इस बात की इजाजत देता है कि आप ट्रेड बंद कर दिए, पाकिस्तान का एयरक्राफ्ट हमारे एयर स्पेस में नहीं आ सकता, किस सूरत से आप पाकिस्तान से क्रिकेट मैच खेलेंगे? क्या इस हुकूमत में इतनी हिम्मत है कि उन 25 मरने वालों को फोन करके कहे कि देखो हमने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में बदला ले लिया, अब तुम पाकिस्तान का मैच देखो?
But why exactly is India going ahead with the games? What are the implications, financial and otherwise, of India-Pakistan cricket matches? Let's give you some of the figures to tell you why this is important. When it comes to the Asia Cup 2025, we're looking at broadcasting rights of $170 million. Now, this is, of course, as far as the Asia Cup 2025 is concerned. Let's look at what we've seen in the past. It's the Asia Cup 2023, where we've looked at 22 to 25 lakhs being the cost of 10-second ad slots. The ICC World Cup 2023 at 30 lakh rupees was the cost of a 10-second ad slot here. So there is, of course, a huge amount of this in terms of the revenue. Over the last 20 years, 10,000 crores of revenue have come in from just the India-Pakistan cricket matches. But it's not just about the revenues that are being earned. What's at stake for Pakistan from this perspective? Here are some of the figures of Pakistan Cricket Board's earnings and the amount of losses that they could make if India pulls out of the Asia Cup. It could be approximately 664 crores that we are told that could be the projected revenue from the ICC 2025 Cup is concerned. We're also looking at 249 crores approximately of revenue that's coming in from other sources at this point of time. There's also about 249 crores of revenue, 6.6 crores projected revenue from other events is what we're looking at, and about 35 crores estimated loss if India pulls out of this particular cup as well. So it's about 35 crore rupees in losses is what PCB could face if India pulls out. But can the Indian government restrict India-Pakistan matches? Let's tell you what the current rules dictate. The current status is that BCCI doesn't come under the purview of the sports ministry. There's a national sports governance bill that is yet to be passed. But if the sports bill is passed, it has a provision for the sports ministry to step in case, and it can impose, quote-unquote, reasonable restrictions in such situations. However, can the government step in now? The centre can advise the BCCI even at this juncture, and the BCCI has made it clear that it leaves all such decisions ultimately towards the centre. Debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Introducing our panelists, with us is Lieutenant General KJS Dhillon, retired. He's a former GOC of the 15 Corps. Joseph Hoover is a cricket writer with us. Nikhil Sharma, sports commentator and author, is also joining us. We have Anis Sajan, who's a vice chairman of the Danube Group and also called Mr. Cricket UAE. Anis Sajan, let me begin with you. Is it just the financial reasons that we're looking at this match going on? Because many are outraging here in India. If we have, people-to-people contact and ties that has been cut off, if we are not allowing people and celebrities from the world of entertainment to come into India, why should we have a similar sort of relationship when it comes to cricket and the Asia Cup? Anis Sajan.
Well, I respect the opinion, Mr. Kamal, of whatever everybody has to say. Everybody has an opinion. I have always respected that. But I've always believed cricket should be not be included in it. When I say any cricket match which is happening between India and Pakistan is happening with the permission of the Indian government. That's what I believe. Because when we have to travel anywhere or have to play against Pakistan, it's with the approval of the Indian government. And I believe that's the reason this tournament is happening. I'm not sure about the financial, losses or gains which you mentioned on your screen. I believe it should be kept separate because sports should not be included in it.
Lieutenant General KJS Dhillon, do you think that it's as simple as that? Sports should not be included in politics, should not be included in other things? Is it that simple? When Operation Sindoor, even as per the Indian government, is still active?
Is that question to me, Madhav?
Yes, Lieutenant General, to you.
Good evening, Madhav, and good evening to the fellow panelists and to all your viewers. See, I am not speaking for a party, political party, or against a political party. I am speaking as a soldier. As a soldier who has paid the last respects, who has saluted my comrades for the one last time, who has laid the wreath on n number of soldiers who laid down their lives fighting the terrorists brought in from Pakistan or on the line of control, who died fighting with the Pakistani bullets. I'm speaking as that soldier, and I'm speaking as an Indian who loves my country, who has respect for the sentiments of the kith and kin and the relatives of the 26 innocents who got killed by the Pakistani terrorists in Pahalgam. I am that soldier speaking here. And I'm also speaking on the sentiment analysis. Pick up any platform of social media. There are tools available to do sentiment analysis. If 95% of the sentiment is not against this cricket match, I will agree with you. I'm not going into politics. I'm not going into economics or financial aspects. I'm only a soldier. And for me, as a soldier, Operation Sindoor is still going on. When operation is going on, that to me means we are at war with Pakistan. And if we are at war with Pakistan, I don't think there is any scope of playing any game or any type of interaction or any type of exchange whatsoever. And I repeat, I re-emphasize, I am speaking as a soldier. I am not speaking for or against anyone.
That's a very fair point. Nikhil Sharma, you should come in on that. As a soldier and as a citizen even, as all of us are, at the end of the day, if we as a nation are at war with Pakistan, we all know what Pakistan has been up to for the last 4 decades, trying to push in terror from its own borders across into India. And at a time such as this, is this the most appropriate time to play? This is what the common citizens are asking. This is what soldiers are asking. And even some members of parliament are raising in the parliament house. What would be your response, Nikhil?
Madhav, as a citizen, and of course, I agree with Lieutenant General. As a citizen, as a soldier, it's not the most appropriate. We shouldn't be playing. But having said that, Madhav, I think it's also pertinent and important to note that we're not playing a bilateral series with them. 2026 will have the Asian Games. Chances are Pakistan will compete in it. Should we not send a contingent to the Asian Games? There might be, the Asian volleyball or the Asian basketball tournament. Should we not send an Indian contingent because Pakistan is playing there and we might play up against them? I don't think we should bother too much about Pakistan. Unfortunately for the Asia Cup, for the smaller member nations to be able to get the revenue that they desire, I don't think the BCCI matters too much. If they get 35 crores, if they get 100 crores, ACC is imperative, but it's important to keep this cohort together. Barring Pakistan, I think this is why the BCCI is doing it. For them, for a UAE, for a Bangladesh, for a Nepal, for an Afghanistan, this money matters, whether it is 35 crores or 100 crores, whatever that pool ACC has. And the ACC pool basically will only run if there's an India-Pakistan match. Unfortunately, while I agree with what our esteemed soldier had to say, come September 14th, you will see some of the highest TRPs that sport and television would have witnessed, because now you've taken something from the border onto the pitch, and Indians world over would want to watch.
Nikhil Sharma, for many Indians today, they would be saying, to hell with the TRPs, to hell with the revenues. What's the worst that can happen? Let me bring in Joseph Hoover.
Exactly the same guys who will be watching that game on September 14th.
Well, be that as it may, let me bring in Joseph Hoover. Joseph Hoover, what's the worst thing that can happen if we drop out of this? All right, General Dhillon wants to say something. Joseph, just a minute. General Dhillon, then coming to you. Joseph.
You can't do that.
General Dhillon, go ahead.
I said this is so demeaning that he's trying to equate the sentiments of TRPs with the sentiments of the people who lost their loved ones, whose husband was killed right in front of our eyes, whose son was killed right in front of our eyes, whose father was killed right in front of our eyes. And this man is trying to equate the thing. TRP बढ़ जाएगी. What nonsense he's talking?
Nikhil
Have
Sharma?
some shame, have some sense.
On that day?
Please, I never used this language.
I'm sorry you don't understand what I'm trying to say.
I'm feeling so hurt that I'm sorry I'm using this language and I used it. I never use such a language.
About it.
But it is very sad that you are equating the
Let him finish. Nikhil, coming to you.
With the TRP.
Yes, General Dillon is not somebody who loses his cool ever. In fact, I've interviewed him. He's participated in my discussions many times. He's somebody whose language is very civil. But what you're saying is going to be something that's going to outrage a lot of Indians, Nikhil. I urge you to choose your words very, very cautiously.
Madhav, I've chosen my words.
Let Nikhil respond, please. Nikhil's response, please. General Dillon, let
Madhav,
Nikhil respond.
I think I began my debate and my point by saying, is it apt? It is not at all. Please don't get me wrong. I think nation before everything else. Having said that, I'm not talking about just the TRP factors of it. Please don't get me wrong. I have no interest in them. What I'm trying to say is that now if this match goes ahead, everybody will be watching because they want to beat Pakistan now. It is basically war that will be taken onto the pitch. That is my opinion. If somebody disagrees to it, please.
Joseph Hoover, what's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst case scenario if you pull out of it? We have enough heft when it comes to cricket. We are the country that virtually runs cricket internationally.
See, if BCCI pulls out, India doesn't play, nothing will happen. All are worried about other nations not getting money. I respect the Lieutenant General, talking about the soldier sentiment, expressing, saying that we are all hurt. We cannot be doing this. And we are worried about other countries making money out of this tournament. And doesn't the BCCI have any kind of a consideration for the lives lost? Our soldiers are getting hammered. Our soldiers are dying. We are losing so much. And cricket is so important. Cricket is just a game. National interest should come ahead of everything else. There's talk about bilateral series not being played from 2008. This is the ICC tournament. If we don't play, we'll lose this. See, if India doesn't play, there's no money to have. I don't want to use such words, but I would love to say, to hell with the money. To hell with the TRP. Who's bothered? I would request all our citizens, if at all the BCCI and the Indian government goes ahead with this tournament, India has to play Pakistan, we should switch off our TVs. There should be a blackout. That would be the message going to the BCCI, because BCCI makes money out of TRPs, because we watch the matches. I think we do this. If BCCI ever does this, I think there should be an anti-BCCI rally across all the cities. This is ridiculous. We have lost 26 people in Pahalgam and our soldiers are dying there.
Anish Sarjan, why shouldn't the cost be so expensive for Pakistan to never forget this again? Why shouldn't there be an exemplary action taken? Because the outrage in India is palpable.
I totally appreciate what you have said and all the other guests have said, that we can always let go this tournament and let Pakistan pay, because it's not India is going to lose. Yes, you mentioned about the financial part. Like, I generally don't look into the financial part. I look at the other part. But yes, it's going to be Pakistan which is going to lose. And if the government
says... So let them lose. That's the whole point. Yes. Let them lose. They should know the consequences of their actions.
So that's what I'm coming to the point. So if they lose, if the government says ye match nahi hona, this match shouldn't happen, we are not going to play the match. Cricket is not important than the lives of anybody else, of any Indian who have lost their lives in that Pahalgam attacks, or the soldiers who lost their lives at the border.
General Dillon, what would your appeal be? What should happen from here on? What exactly would you expect the BCCI, the government of the day, the sports ministry, etc. to do?
My simple point is it only for the soldiers and they sent tourists to die for this nation, and rest everyone is interested only in the TRPs and the money? Whose nation is it anyway? It is all very fine to say, it should not happen, but why but? If it should not happen, it should not happen. There are no buts and ifs in this when it comes to national cause, when it comes to national sentiments. देश के जो भाव है ना, उनको समझिए आप. And
Absolutely.
I'm least bothered about Pakistan getting money or not. I'm least bothered about anyone else getting money or not. I'm bothered about my India and Indians whose sentiments are involved. You know, the most difficult thing for a commander is to lay a wreath on the mortal remains of his buddy for one last time. And I've done it so many times just because of this idiotic nation, Pakistan. And you want to go and play games with them? Literally.
Absolutely. Completely respect the sentiment, General Dhillon, and of course, the nation whose wounds have still not perhaps filled after what we saw happening there in Pahalgam. Operation Sindoor certainly has been, many would say, a befitting response. We've also seen Operation Mahadev, but certainly at a time like this, is this the most appropriate time for the two countries to be playing cricket is a question that many are certainly asking. Lieutenant General KJS Dhillon, Joseph Hoover, Nikhil Sharma, Anis Sajan, thanks so much for joining us this evening.